This is for Geminis. This is going to be for about 7 days from whenever you watch this for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in your chart. Also for cross watchers of the Geminis. This is about 7 days from whenever you watch this, not from when it was uploaded or streamed. And it should be relevant for about 7 days. Okay? So, guides, angels, anyone from the highest good that has a message to come forward for Geminis for about 7 days from whenever they watch this. Ooh, the lovers. Well, hell yeah. Right there you are, coming out strong in your reading. The lovers, that's the Geminis. But that is, I mean, those two are, they're looking down at something like they have an idea that they've been waiting for with the hangman. Oh, now we have temperance. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. So for some of you, you might be like having a baby and now it's time, okay? And I hope it's not too loud, but I had to get my fan. So I don't know how loud it is, but it's a must. Long story short, whatever you've been waiting on, it's time. And they're looking down at this thing. Like, let's do this already. Because you finally get word. It's like it creeps up from the past, right? And now it's time to jet, to dip, to do the thing, right? My Jemmy Jams? Yeah, that's really loud. Is that better? I'm just going to take a little wind break in between each reading then. I'm doing a collective for the eclipse and the retrograde season because of how crazy we were all feeling. Oh my God, look, the stork. So maybe it is for somebody. Somebody's having a baby this week, which is great. But the point is, I mean, you know, that's like not for everybody. Okay, that's going to be for 1 or 2 Geminis or someone that you know. But the stork brings, remember on the Grinch, it brings a who or maybe a what, right? The stork can bring a what. And it's like, okay, and and whatever it is, it creeps up from the past. And it's been delayed, but now right here it is, and there's 2 people who are like-minded. They're together, so this is probably for a couple. If not, this is you and a buddy, or you and a kid, or whatever, and you're standing there like, all right. See? Communication, it's the bird. There's 2 of you. But it's, I mean, and you have the page of rods, too. You're certainly chatting about something. The stork drops off a what? Oh, a home. Oh. Well, the house in Lenormand is shelter, family, belonging, roots, whatever. But that could also, it's the 4. It's basically the 4 rods. I mean, it's like, here you go. But look, at the stallion too. That's what I mean. Like, there it is. So for some of you, I mean, I have 4 babies, so I understand this. You might be like pregnant. I mean, you might be in labor, like, oh, there's a contraction. And then the next second you have a 10-pound baby in a parking lot. You know what I'm saying? It happens like that. Like you are pregnant and then you are not in a good way because you have the baby, right? And boom, there it is, just like, here you go. But it doesn't, again, the stork doesn't always bring a baby. It doesn't always bring a who. Sometimes it brings a what. And in this case, but whatever it is wild. And it makes everybody motivated because these 2 are standing together under this arbor. Like, okay. And it's like, everybody's in agreement. These are all, see? The rider. There's a lot of horses here. Libra. But Libra talks about, oh, I was going to say it talks about court and then came the mountain. That's your obstacle. So maybe there's somebody that's still married and you guys decide that you're going to like buy a house together or something like that. The stork drops off a what? And you're like, okay, but then we're like, oh, damn. About that paperwork. Cause yeah, and honestly, the card that I flipped over that I didn't want to take was the Page of Swords, which is paperwork and having and like being caught up. But now, fireworks, hot sex. Come on, the key. It's like you lucky ducks get a house and then you like get up in the house and you're so happy to be in the house that you do that in the house, and then you know that, and then oops. So if you're not trying to go there or just want to be like, maybe you should wrap it up or not, more the merrier in my case, right? The baby doesn't, or the stork doesn't always drop off a who, sometimes it drops off a what. And in this case, for some of you, it could be a key, like to a house. But there's a paperwork issue involved here. So let's talk about, well, let's talk about what it is that the stork brings first. And I want to be like it's something that you talked about for a while. An inheritance, 6 of coins, the emperor, and the sun in reverse. Again, that could mean 2 things, right? You still have to wrap up a divorce with somebody, but it also could be someone's father giving money to make this happen. But under the stipulation that you have to be totally divorced first, and you're like, yeah, but this house is available now, and you don't have enough to get it. And also, there might be an indication with this King of Swords that this potential person that you have to do paperwork is a little bit of a miser, right? They're just in the way. They're the mountain. They're an obstacle. So there's, I mean, it might be money. It might be some kind of something. The stork drops off a what? And you're like, yeah, but there's an obstacle, okay? The Empress, shut up. I heard true match. You find your true match? But wait, there's more. That's what I heard. But wait, there's more. Shut up. The Queen of Rods in reverse. See? But wait, there's more. More people. Maybe on both sides. 3 of Swords. So that's kind of sad. I mean, we have a perfect match here, but we have someone over there, maybe a Sagittarius who's right, 2 of Cups, but they're hermit. Like, what the fuck? Because I was all excited, like, the stork brings a what? The what? Okay. But then it's like, oh, right, having to I don't want to be like, get rid of the past, but to actually release the past. You know what I mean? Like, you can be separated for a really, really long time and be fine with it, but the moment that you get divorce papers, it hurts. Okay, right? So that's kind of that. But 10 of Swords. So I think that there might be on both sides. There's a total of 4 people. Let's talk about this paperwork up here. 9 of Cups. Knight of Coins. Okay, so that's the one that you're talking to. This might also be why you need to pull in a father figure to help. Because in order to get what you want, 9 of Cups, my brain is like in this house place because every time I look down, I see the house card. It's right there. Okay, pause. Holy smokes, that was yummy. Dr. Pepper. This whole thing feels delicious. Except there's obstacles. One obstacle is probably a bank or some kind of King of Swords. The one who has the paperwork in order to make it move forward. The other obstacle is an ex. Because they probably have to agree to something too. But here we have a perfect match. So let's talk about the message that comes in that changes everything. So everybody's like, what and who and when and what? And we're going to do what? I kind of want a fairy on it. Yee-hee, yippee skippy. Well, that's Gemini right there. But it's the past. It's a new life. It's like a whole new life, a whole new world. See, but it was always yours anyways. This could even be like if you had a father, you know, or someone in your family, because Six of Pentacles talks about an inheritance. They might be like, well, you can have this house. We'll give you this house. We'll give it to you, but they can't live there. And you're like, not a problem, because I found my perfect match. Except, oops, you know. But it's, I mean, it's like I want to be like, there's a genie around and a best friend. That's a lot of blue energy. But then you have a freaking narcissist on top of it all that ruins everything. I'm not even taking the clankener out. Here's the deal about Gemini season, okay? I'm calm. I always call it Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? Dr. Jekyll was awesome. He was a doctor. He was a healer. He wanted to figure out how to do stuff until, right, and the good person. But then on the other side of that, it's not. So we're talking about Gemini season. You find your perfect matches, you find your true love, you vibe in it. But the very other side of that sword is this, the past. And it always feels like that, and it always comes up. And then we've got all these retrogrades happening, and it's like, well, okay, so what happens? Let's do a future. So we've got, for sometime in this 7 days, you're going to find out something that's going to tickle you to death. But then you're going to have to go through these obstacles, but it's going to like work out. But then what happens? The Hierophant and the King of Swords. You cut a deal with the King of Swords. You know how it's going to work out. You're not, you know, that like clenching feeling where, like, let's say you're going to sign a lease on an apartment or something and you have to wait for them to call you back to see if you got it. And you go straight into Eight of Swords place. Like, well, maybe they will, but maybe they won't. Maybe they will and won't, whatever. Nah, by the end of this time frame, you're going to be released from that because you're going to cut a deal with the King of Swords. The Hierophant again. Yeah, because your life is changing. You're coming out of a poverty mode, and now you have this. It's the key. Look, and the Fool at the bottom. Oh, Geminis, I'm all like warm and fuzzy for you right now. That's exciting. Cutting a deal with the King of Swords. Booyah. Okay, that's all I have for Geminis. I'm just doing regular readings. Now I'm coming back next in just a minute with Scorpio. And at 9 o'clock, for those of you who want to tune in for a collective, I'm doing a collective for everybody at 9. So I'll be back in just a minute for Scorpio. Head over to my channel, and if you wait right there, it'll pop back up and it'll show you when I'm live, and you can just click on it and it'll take you right to Scorpio if you want to tune in. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you at 9 for the Eclipse Collective. Yeah, whatever. I'll see you then. Bye. I can't do it.